Let me start today by telling you some information about myself. My name is Patricia Harris Jenkinson. I am a professor of communication. I am married, I have 2 children, and I live in the Sacramento area. Now you know a little bit about me. Let me tell you a little bit about self-disclosure. This is in multiple parts. The part that we're talking about, part 1, we're going to focus on what self-disclosure is. Starting with the definition, self-disclosure can be defined as the process of deliberately revealing significant information about oneself that would not normally be known to others. So 3 key points. It must be deliberate, it must be significant, and not otherwise known. So by deliberate we mean it's intentional, that you are not accidentally revealing information about yourself. You intentionally told somebody information. By significant, it means it's not trivial information. It's important information. And it's got to be information that is not otherwise known to others. For example, you can tell by not only my name, Patricia, but my voice that I am most likely female. So if I said, "Hi, I'm Patty Harris Jenkinson, I'm female," that might be deliberate. It might be significant, but if you're one of my students, you probably already know that information, so that would not be defined as significant self-disclosure. James Baldwin once said that in order to have a conversation with someone, you have to reveal yourself. So self-disclosure is part of sharing information so that you can communicate with other people. It's not always what you say, but it also might be how you say it, or what you don't say, but what you reveal through your nonverbal information. If you allow somebody to see you cry, then that would be an example, or could be an example, of self-disclosure. What kinds of things do we self-disclose? What we self-disclose means that we are risking information. So self-disclosure involves risk. At least 3 risks that we can talk about. First is that the other person can share revealed information, the information that you told them, with other people, and you might not want that information out there. The second is just by having that information, the other person has power over you. They can blackmail you. And lastly is if you tell somebody you like information about yourself, that person could choose to reject or disapprove of you. So the bottom line is that self-disclosure means vulnerability. When you self-disclose information about yourself to others, then you are opening yourself up. You are becoming much more vulnerable. When we talk about the things that you could self-disclose, obviously not all pieces of information are rated equal. We often communicate with people using cliches. "Hi, how are you?" "Oh, I'm fine." Or even, "Hi, how are you?" "Oh, could be better, could be worse." Really not much deep self-disclosure, very much ritualistic communication. "I'm really had a good time." Sure, that's revealing information about yourself, but it is much more of a cliche and not deep. You can provide facts or biographical information, and by that we're talking about what's non-threatening. So biological information that I gave you in the beginning, I am a mother of 2 children, I am married, and I live in the Sacramento area. How different would that be if I told you exactly where I lived, how old my children were, what the names of my children are, and depending upon the situation, that could be much more threatening information, and I would not be likely to reveal that information to anybody who happens to run across this video on YouTube. Next in that level, a little deeper, is the opinions, how you feel, your attitudes and your personal ideas, whether you like a movie or not, whether you like a particular person or not, what you think the political climate is. All of those would be attitudes and personal ideas. We can follow up with that with a deeper level of personal feelings, my fears, the secrets that I hold. And although you see attitudes on there twice, they're much more deeper attitudes. So I might say, in terms of an opinion, I don't like it when you go out without me. It's just not right that you go out and visit your friends without me there. The personal feelings part might be, I'm afraid that you like them more than you like me, or I'm afraid I might be losing you. So much deeper level. And finally, there are things that you hold on a very gut level that you don't tell very many people at all. Very, very rare. You're not likely to tell people if you have had an affair unless you're very, very close to them, but much more increased level of self-disclosure. Before we move on to the next one, I want you to think about what we've just talked about. So 3 quick questions for you to reflect upon. Can you identify the 3 criteria for a disclosure to be classified as self-disclosure? Secondly, how would you classify I have a boyfriend? Would that be self-disclosure? And finally, can a fact or biographical information also be considered peak self-disclosure? Just some thoughts. We'll continue talking about this in a moment. Thank you.